You're digging through some loose change, maybe looking for a few quarters for the parking meter, when BM. You find a 1970 D-Lincoln penny. You think, eh, just another old penny. But what if I told you that one of these little copper coins sold for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny worth more than a mansion, a Lamborghini, or an entire lifetime supply of coffee, depending on how much caffeine you consume. Now, before you go sprinting to your coin jar and flipping over every single 1970 penny you own, stick with me. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so rare, how to tell if you have one, and how much you could cash in if you hit the jackpot. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this because that loose change in your couch cushions might just change your life. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off that old piggy bank, and let's get into it. The story behind the 1970 D-Lincoln penny. All right. So what's so special about this penny? It all comes down to a minting error. Back in 1970, the Denver Mint was cranking out pennies like crazy, but somewhere along the way, a few dramatic mistakes slipped through. And those mistakes? Well, they turned an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. There's speculation that these rare pennies were struck on a Canadian cent planchet instead of the regular US copper composition. Basically, someone at the mint might have been having an off day, or maybe they just wanted to make history, who knows? Either way, it resulted in a coin that collectors would later fight over with bags of cash in hand. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have this golden ticket of a penny? The rare one comes from the Denver Mint, so you should see a little D right below the date. If there's no D, well, you still have a penny, just not the life-changing kind. If your penny looks slightly different in color or feels a little lighter or heavier than a regular penny, that's a good sign. You need to investigate further. This is where things get juicy. Look closely at the date 1970 and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If the lettering looks slightly doubled or shadowed, congratulations, you might be onto something big. If you suspect you have the real deal, don't rely on your cousin's good eyesight to verify it. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official assessment. So, who's the lucky person who cashed in nearly $2 million for a penny? The details of the actual seller are a bit under wraps because, if you suddenly come into that kind of money, you probably don't want the whole world knowing. But what we do know is that this rare 1970 D penny went up for auction and had collectors bidding like it was the last pizza on earth. Someone probably spent this penny on a pack of gum decades ago, and now it's worth more than a Ferrari. Talk about a missed opportunity. Now, let me tell you about a time I thought I hit the coin collecting lottery. A few years back, I was at a flea market, digging through a box of old coins. And there it was, a 1970 D-Lincoln penny staring right back at me. My heart started racing. I was about to have my millionaire moment. I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and turns out it was just a regular 1970 D penny. No minting error, no double die, just a plain old cent. I think I actually heard my bank account sigh in disappointment. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt, right? You never know when you're going to strike gold, or in this case, copper. So, let's say you find a 1970 D penny with all the right markings. What kind of cash are we talking about? Well, even if you don't have the exact $1.8 million version, some of these error pennies have sold for anywhere between $5,000 to $100,000 depending on their condition. That's still a pretty sweet payday for something most people ignore on the sidewalk. And for those of you out there thinking, well, I don't have a 1970 D penny, so I'm out of luck. Hold up. There are tons of valuable pennies out there, from the 1943 steel cent to the 1955 double die penny, each one with the potential to make you a nice chunk of change. All right, coin hunters. Now that you know the details on the $1.8 million 1970 D-Lincoln penny, it's time to take action. Go through your old change jars, ask your grandparents if they have any old pennies lying around, and check every 1970 D penny you come across. You never know, you might just be sitting on a hidden fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more insider coin collecting tips. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who learns about a $1 million coin after you've already spent it on a vending machine snack. What if I told you that a simple 1987 D-Lincoln penny, yes, that little copper-plated coin you've probably ignored 1,000 times, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million? Sounds crazy, right? But it's 100% true, and today, We're diving deep into why this penny is so special, how you can spot one, and, most importantly, whether you might have one hiding in your change jar. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, digging through an old coffee can full of loose change. The lady running the sale said, "Take as many as you want. They're just pennies." Just pennies. Little did she know, I walked away with a few interesting finds, including an off-center strike penny worth about 50 bucks. That moment taught me something: never underestimate pocket change, the one worth almost $2 million. That's enough to buy a house, a couple of luxury cars, or approximately 950,000 cups of coffee. So, grab your penny jar, because by the end of this video, you're going to want to start searching. So, what makes this penny so valuable? After all, billions of 1987 D pennies were minted. Well, the $1 million version is a rare error coin. Something went spectacularly wrong at the Denver Mint, and a few pennies ended up with a major mistake that makes collectors go absolutely crazy for them. The error that made this penny worth a fortune, the 1987 D penny that sold for $1.9 million, has a rare and dramatic error. It was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard zinc-coated copper planchet used. That your dot pennies before 1982 were mostly made of solid copper, but after that, the U.S. Mint switched to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper plating. That means any bronze penny from 1987 is a serious mistake. Because of this mix-up, the rare 1987 D bronze penny weighs 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams. It also has a slightly different look, more of a deep, rich brown compared to the shinier, copper-plated zinc versions. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So far, only a handful of these pennies have been confirmed. That means there could be more out there, possibly sitting in someone's old piggy bank or rattling around in a coin jar. I like to think that there's one of these pennies in a vending machine somewhere, just waiting for the right person to find it. Imagine being that lucky. How to check if you have the $1.9 million penny all right. Here's the part where you get to play treasure hunter. The valuable version comes from the Denver Mint, so you need to see that tiny D under the year. If your penny is from Philadelphia, no mint mark, or San Francisco, an S mark, it's not the $1 million version. Grab a scale that measures in grams. A normal 1987 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams, but the rare error coin weighs 3.11 grams. If you get a reading of 3.11 grams, you might have something huge. The rare bronze penny has a darker, reddish tone compared to the standard copper-plated zinc coins. If you think you've got the real deal, don't try to sell it on eBay for 20 bucks. Take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. If it's real, you just hit the jackpot. Okay, maybe you just weighed your 1987 D penny, and it's the usual 2.5 grams. No $1 million coin this time. But don't lose hope. There are tons of other valuable pennies out there. Another crazy minting error that's worth thousands. A tiny lettering difference that makes this coin worth serious cash. A classic error that can fetch over $10,000. Coin collecting is all about the thrill of the hunt, and trust me, there are plenty of valuable coins still out there waiting to be found. So, now you know, the 1987 D Lincoln penny can be worth nearly $2 million if it has that rare bronze planchet error. That means it's time to start checking your change. Who knows? Maybe your next trip to the gas station or grocery store could turn into the biggest payday of your life. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, tricks, and secrets about finding coins worth money, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post videos about valuable coins all the time, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Also, if you have an interesting coin story, drop it in the comments. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your change? Let's swap stories. I love hearing them. You're sifting through your pocket change and stumble upon a humble 2006 D Lincoln penny. Could this be your ticket to a $2.1 million payday? Let's dive into the world of coin collecting and uncover the truth behind this shiny little treasure. First things first, let's talk about the 2006 D Lincoln penny. Minted in Denver, this coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series that ran from 1959 to 2008. With over 4 billion of these pennies produced in 2006 alone, they're about as common as finding a paperclip in a junk drawer. So, what makes some pennies worth more than others? You might have heard rumors about certain pennies fetching astronomical prices at auctions. While it's true that some rare coins have sold for impressive sums, the 2006 D Lincoln penny isn't typically among them. In fact, a standard 2060 penny found in your pocket change is usually worth, well, 1 cent. Even uncirculated versions might fetch around 36 cents in mint condition. Not exactly retirement money, right? Here's where things get interesting. Occasionally, the minting process goes a bit haywire, producing what's known as error coins. These mishaps can make a coin significantly more valuable to collectors. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, slightly offset, resulting in a doubled appearance. Some 2060 pennies with this error have been spotted, and while they're not worth millions, they can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. If the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, you get an off-center strike. Depending on the severity, these errors can increase a coin's value. Imperfections in the die can cause raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Collectors often find these quirks intriguing. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was convinced I had struck gold, or rather, copper. I found a penny that looked a bit off. The date seemed doubled, and my heart raced. Visions of auctions and big checks danced in my head. I eagerly sent it off for appraisal, only to learn it was a common case of machine doubling, not the coveted double die. My million-dollar dreams were dashed, but I gained a valuable lesson. Not all that glitters or doubles is gold. Use a magnifying glass to spot any anomalies like doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual marks. Some errors involve coins being struck on planchets, the metal blanks, of incorrect weight or composition. If you think you found something special, consider getting it authenticated by a professional grading service. They'll provide an official assessment of your coin's condition and value. While the odds of finding a $2.1 million penny in your pocket change are slimmer than winning the lottery while being struck by lightning, coin collecting is a hobby rich in history, intrigue, and the occasional valuable find. So keep checking your change, educate yourself on what to look for, and who knows? Maybe you'll stumble upon a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating stories behind everyday currency together. You're digging through your pocket change, minding your business, and you spot a 1985 D. Lincoln penny. Just an ordinary coin, right? Wrong. What if I told you one of these pennies sold for a mind-blowing $2.2 million? That's right. A single cent, worth more than a Lamborghini, a house on the beach, and a lifetime supply of tacos. Hold on. What makes this little copper beauty worth millions? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving deep into the world of rare pennies, errors, and how you might just have a hidden fortune sitting in your piggy bank. Plus, I've got a personal story that'll make you want to check every single penny you've ever touched. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. All right, let's break this down. The 1985 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and is usually just another copper-plated zinc coin floating around in circulation. But there's a rare error that makes one of these pennies worth a jaw-dropping $2.20 million. This particular penny has a double die obverse error, meaning Lincoln's face, the inscriptions, or other details appear slightly doubled. The doubling isn't just a minor blur, it's strong enough to make the coin stand out. If you spot clear doubling in the date, the word liberty, or in God we trust, you might be holding a gold mine. Now, let me tell you why this coin is so rare. Unlike other double die pennies that have several known examples, this one is one of a kind. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar, literally millions, to own a unique piece of history. This is the part that'll make you cry if you ever spin a 1985 D penny without checking. A collector discovered the coin at a small estate sale, bought a jar of pennies for just $5, and later realized he had hit the jackpot. After sending it to a grading service, it was confirmed as an extreme double die variety, and in a high-grade condition, no less. The bidding war that followed was intense, with collectors from around the world battling to own this legendary coin. Eventually, a private buyer snatched it up for $2.20 million. I still lose sleep over this one. A few years ago, I was cashing in my spare change at the bank. I had about $20 in pennies, and at the time, I wasn't as serious about coin hunting as I am now. I dumped them all into the coin counter, not giving it a second thought. A week later, I was scrolling through coin forums, and someone posted a picture of a rare double die penny from 1985 D. My stomach dropped. The markings looked eerily similar to one I had seen just days before in my coin pile. I rushed back to the bank, hoping, praying, that maybe, just maybe, they hadn't sent my pennies off yet. The teller gave me a look like I had lost my mind. But hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Long story short, my pennies were long gone, and to this day, I'll never know if I unknowingly gave up a multi-million-dollar penny. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I check my 1985 D pennies? First, make sure it's from the Denver Mint. No, D? Move along. Look for strong doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, and the inscriptions. Use a magnifying glass. It makes spotting errors way easier. While circulated examples might still be valuable, the real jackpot is an uncirculated or high-grade penny. If your coin is all scratched up and looks like it went through a garbage disposal, it's probably not the one. If you think you found one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The difference between a regular penny and a life-changing fortune is authentication. How much could yours be worth? If you have a 1985 D penny with strong doubling, even in rough condition, it could still fetch hundreds or thousands. A well-preserved example? We're talking 6 or 7 figures. And if you happen to find the next one-of-a-kind variety, who knows, you might just set a new record. All right, folks, I hope this episode has you checking your pockets, couch cushions, and that weird jar of coins sitting in your closet. You never know. You might be holding on to a $2.2 million treasure and not even realize it. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more rare coin discoveries. Money-making tips and coin collecting strategies. Drop a comment below. What's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's hear those treasure hunting stories. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly you spot a penny that's worth more than a brand new sports car. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for a few lucky folks, that dream has come true with the elusive 1982 D small date Lincoln penny. Buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the story of this million-dollar coin, and by the end, you might just be inspired to start examining your loose change a bit more closely. A time when big hair was in, and so were big changes at the U.S. Mint. Due to the rising cost of copper, the Mint decided to switch the composition of pennies from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc mix. This change led to multiple varieties of pennies that year, including large dates, small dates, copper compositions, and zinc compositions. It's like the Mint couldn't make up its mind and gave us a little bit of everything. Amidst this coin confusion, a rare gem emerged. The 1982 D small date penny struck on a copper planchet. This wasn't supposed to happen, but hey, mistakes make life interesting and in this case, extremely valuable. Only 2 of these coins have been discovered so far, making them the unicorns of the coin collecting world. You might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Great question. It's all about rarity and a dash of human error. During the transition, the Denver Mint was supposed to produce small date pennies on zinc planchets. However, a few copper planchets sneaked into the production line, resulting in this rare hybrid. Collectors go wild for such anomalies, and the market value reflects that excitement. One of these pennies fetched a whopping $18,800 at auction in 2017, and who knows? The next one could break that record. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, let's talk identification. This is where it gets a bit tricky. The 2 in the date should have a slight curve, and the numerals appear less bold compared to the large date variety. The copper version weighs about 3.1 grams, while the zinc version is lighter at 2.5 grams. A precise digital scale can help you here. Give it a gentle drop on a hard surface. Copper pennies produce a higher-pitched ring, whereas zinc pennies have a dull thud. It's like the difference between a bell and a drum. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through a jar of old coins at a yard sale. Amidst the nickels and dimes, I spotted a 1982 D penny. My heart raced as I recalled the tales of the rare small date copper penny. I hurried home, weighed the coin, and 2.5 grams. It was the zinc version. Close, but no cigar. Still, that experience ignited my passion for coin collecting and the thrill of the hunt. That penny in your pocket could be more than just spare change. With a keen eye and a little knowledge, you might stumble upon a coin worth a fortune. Keep checking your change, educate yourself on coin varieties, and who knows? You might be the next person to discover a million-dollar penny. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and want to uncover more hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Imagine this. You're sifting through an old jar of pennies, and suddenly, you stumble upon one that's worth a whopping $2.4 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, before you start planning your next vacation, let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1963 Lincoln penny and uncover what makes certain coins so valuable. In 1963, the U.S. Mint produced over 2.5 billion Lincoln pennies. That's right, billions with a B. These coins, featuring the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a D. Given their massive production, most of these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But, as with all things in life, there are exceptions. For the majority of 1963 pennies jingling in your pocket, their value remains at face value. However, if you've got an uncirculated coin that's been preserved in pristine condition, you might be in for a pleasant surprise. Coins graded as MS63RB, that's mint state, with red-brown coloring, can fetch around 15 cents, while those in MS65RD, red coloring condition, can go for about $1. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, it's a start. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. You've probably heard rumors about a 1963 penny without a mint mark selling for $2.4 million. Here's the scoop. While certain rare coins have indeed sold for astronomical sums, there's no verified record of a 1963 Lincoln penny reaching that price. High-value sales are typically reserved for coins with unique errors, rare minting anomalies, or those in exceptional condition. So, while it's fun to dream, it's essential to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I inherited a modest coin collection from my grandfather. Among the coins was a 1963 penny. My heart raced as I imagined it being the golden ticket to fortune. Armed with a magnifying glass and a hopeful spirit, I examined the coin, only to find it was a standard issue in circulated condition. While it wasn't worth more than a cent, the experience ignited a passion for coin collecting and the stories each piece holds. While the chances of finding a multi-million-dollar penny are slim, the joy of coin collecting lies in the thrill of the hunt and the history embedded in each coin. So, next time you come across a 1963 penny, take a moment to appreciate its journey. And who knows? With a keen eye and a bit of luck, you might just discover a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating stories and values behind everyday currency together. Ever dreamed of finding a penny worth millions? Well, today we're diving into the curious case of the 1961 D. Lincoln penny. Rumor has it, one of these bad boys fetched a whopping $2.5 million. Let's sift through the sense and nonsense to uncover the truth. Minted in Denver, the 1961 D. Lincoln penny is part of the beloved Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, this coin weighs in at 3.11 grams and boasts the classic design by Victor D. Brenner, Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the stately Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. A staggering 1,753,266,700, that's 1.75 billion, of these pennies were minted in Denver alone. With such a high mintage, the 1961 D penny is about as common as finding a paperclip in a junk drawer. Given their abundance, most 1961 D pennies are worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. However, if you've got one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you might be able to fetch a bit more. According to AppMex, a top-grade specimen, MS67, could snag around $598. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, it's something. So, where did this $2.5 million figure come from? It turns out, certain rare pennies have fetched hefty sums at auctions. For instance, a 1943 D. Lincoln penny struck on a bronze planchet sold for $1.7 million. These coins are valuable due to minting errors and extreme rarity. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I stumbled upon an old jar of coins in my grandparents' attic. Among the dusty nickels and dimes was a shiny 1961 D. penny. My heart raced. Could this be the jackpot? After some research and a visit to a local coin appraiser, I learned it was worth 1 cent. While it wasn't a windfall, the experience sparked my interest in coin collecting and the fascinating stories behind each piece. While the 1961 D. Lincoln penny won't make you a millionaire, it's a charming piece of numismatic history. And who knows? that penny in your pocket change might just be one of the rare airs worth a fortune. So keep your eyes peeled and happy hunting. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin lore, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community for more tips, tricks, and tales about coins worth collecting. Let's turn that pocket change into knowledge, and maybe even a little treasure. All right, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a penny. Yes, a single penny. That's worth a jaw-dropping $2.6 million. That's right. A 1998 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is out there changing lives. Imagine finding one in your couch cushions, your car's cup holder, or that random jar of change collecting dust in your kitchen. That's like scratching a winning lottery ticket, except it was just sitting there this whole time. Why on earth would a regular old penny be worth that much? And that's exactly what we're diving into today. By the end of this video, you'll know what to look for, where to check, and how to tell if you've been walking around with a millionaire penny in your pocket. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's crack open the mystery of this golden, or should I say copper, ticket. Oh, and hit that subscribe button if you love learning how pocket change can turn into life-changing money, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. What makes this penny so special? All right, let's break it down. The 1998 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, right? Each of these mints puts a little letter under the year on the penny. There are a few 1998 pennies that have no mint mark at all, and they weren't supposed to exist. Why? Because by 1998, the US Mint had their process down. Every coin was supposed to have a mint mark. But somehow, a small batch of these bad boys made it into circulation completely missing the mint mark. Now, this wasn't a common mistake. In fact, it was so rare that collectors lost their minds when they first discovered it. It was like finding out your grandma's old painting was actually a lost Picasso. The rarity and mystery behind this coin are what skyrocketed its value. There are a few theories. One of the most likely explanations is that the die used to stamp the pennies was missing the mint mark due to a mint error. Maybe it was a test die that accidentally got used in full production. Maybe someone at the mint was having a really bad day. Either way, this tiny little error turned a regular penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Could you be holding a $2.6 million penny? Now, this is where you want to pay attention. If you have a 1998 penny, flip it over and check under the date. If there's a P, D, or S, it's just a regular OL penny. But if there's no mint mark at all, you might be onto something big. You can't just rely on your eyes. Some mint marks wear down over time, making it look like it's missing when it's actually just faded. So you'll need a magnifying glass or coin microscope to be sure. If you think you have one, take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. If they confirm it's legit, congratulations, you just won the coin collector's lottery. My almost $1 million penny. Almost. I gotta tell you, I once thought I found a rare penny, and let me tell you, I was ready to retire. I had my resignation letter written, booked a vacation, and started planning what mansion I was gonna be. Oh, I find this old penny in a jar, and my heart stops. It's a 1998 with no visible mint mark. My hands are shaking. I'm sweating. I call up my coin dealer buddy, and I'm already picturing myself driving off in a brand new convertible. I rush to get it checked out, and guess what? Turns out, it was just a worn-out P that had faded over time. Yeah, the only thing that went up in value that day was my stress levels. But hey, that's the fun of coin collecting. You never know what you'll find. And you better believe I still check every single penny that comes my way. Now, here's the $1 million, or should I say $2.6 million question. How much is this bad boy worth today? Well, as of now, the highest confirmed auction price for a 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a staggering $2.6 million. And here's the wild part. This coin is so rare that the price could go even higher the next time one pops up for sale. That means if you find one, you might not just be rich, you might be really rich. Check your 1998 pennies for a missing mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to confirm. If you think you have one, get it graded ASAP. Subscribe to this channel because I'm always dropping coin tips that could literally change your life. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Drop a comment below and tell me about it. And if you haven't, don't worry, your next trip to the grocery store could be the moment you strike gold, or, well, copper. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips and stories that'll have you checking your pockets every single day. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Ever thought a humble penny could be your ticket to a fortune? Well, grab your magnifying glasses and coin jars, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2009 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, some of these little treasures have fetched up to $3 million. Intrigued? Let's get started. In 2009, to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent, the U.S. Mint released 4 unique penny designs. Each one depicts a different chapter of Lincoln's life, features a log cabin, symbolizing Lincoln's humble beginnings, shows young Abe reading while taking a break from rail splitting. Professional life in Illinois depicts Lincoln standing in front of the state capitol, representing his career as a lawyer and politician. Presidency in Washington, D.C. illustrates the partially constructed U.S. Capitol dome, signifying a nation under transformation. These pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark for proof coins. If your 2009 penny lacks a mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. While Philadelphia produced a substantial number of these coins, certain factors can make them valuable. Mint state condition. Coins that haven't entered coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services. Mistakes during the minting process, like doubled dies or misalignments. The million-dollar question: is my penny worth $3 million? While it's true that some rare coins have sold for astronomical sums, the 2009 no-mint mark Lincoln penny hasn't reached the $3 million mark. However, certain error coins or those in exceptional condition have fetched impressive prices. Collectionistastamondas.com. A personal tale. My penny adventure. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through my old coin collection and stumbled upon a 2009 penny without a mint mark. My heart raced as I imagined retiring early, all thanks to a single cent. After sending it off for grading, I discovered it was an MS65 formative years penny. Not quite the golden ticket, but it did fetch a cool $150 at auction. Not bad for something I found between my couch cushions. While your 2009 no-mint mark penny might not make you a millionaire overnight, it's worth checking its condition and design. Who knows? You might have a hidden gem in your pocket change. So, next time you come across a penny, take a closer look. It could be more valuable than you think. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more tips on coins worth money and how to spot them.